Hello everyone. Today on Evie's Classroom, we are going to be deploying a virtual machine on a popular cloud service provider, which is Microsoft Azure. So what you will need to complete this tutorial will be a valid Microsoft subscription, which has pay-as-you-go enabled on Microsoft Azure. So what I'm going to do is to start with creating a virtual machine on Microsoft Azure. Head to any browser you choose. Go to portal.azure.com. Hit on enter and it will take you to the Microsoft Azure portal login page. Type in the account you want to use, type in the password. Once you're logged into the Azure portal, go to the search bar and type in virtual machines and hit enter. So once you are in the virtual machine overview page, you can hit on create on your left side, select on Azure virtual machine. Now from here, you need to select your subscription. Most probably you only have one subscription, so it will be automatically selected. And you need to create a new resource group. The resource group is where all your resources will be housed. So I'm going to name it as Learning RG, which stands for resource group. Click on OK. Give the virtual machine a name. Make sure you don't use space characters because space characters aren't accepted. For example, if I type in learning and I put a space, it will give me this error. So we have to use these naming conventions in order to create a valid name. So learning VM stands for virtual machine. And then I'm going to select a region and I will leave it as default East US. Or you can select from any region over here. Next, so availability options. So we can put the virtual machine into different availability zones. Since I'm not running any mission critical workloads in it, I can put it into no infrastructure redundancy required, so that I'm not deploying it in multiple regions. It's just inside one data center. So the security type, I can keep trusted launch virtual machines, which is a newer version of the security that's coming default in Azure. And I can also put it down to standard. I will leave it as standard since it's fine. And I will be using a Windows 11 Enterprise Multi-Session version. So now from here, as you can see, I can choose run this with Azure Spot Discount. It gives you a discounted rate for unused Azure slots. So it will be slightly cheap, but I will just leave it unticked since I don't want Azure Spot Discount. And the size. So we can go over to see all sizes. So when it comes to selecting VM sizes, you can see many groups, since I have set the filter to be grouped by series. Now D series and B series are normally general compute. So and E series is memory optimized. F series for compute optimized. Now say you're gonna deploy a network monitoring tool, and you could either go with general compute or memory optimized, compute optimized. But the most suitable application for network monitoring tools is the compute optimized instance, since network monitoring tools use so much compute power. So when you're deploying something on Azure, you should always check what your deployment will require the most and deploy the related size. For now, I'm just gonna set the filter to 2 vCPU and 8 GB memory instance. So it's gonna be the D series one, which is roughly around $75. I will go with that. And I will hit on select. And then I could set a username and password. I'm gonna set this as test user. Password as 1234567 8. And now as you can see, it gives us an error. The password must contain three of the following: one lowercase letter, one uppercase character, one number, and one special character. So you had to follow these password rules in order to set a valid password. And next, since I'm gonna be connecting to this virtual machine through remote desktop protocol, I will be selecting the RDP port to be enabled. If you're gonna deploy Windows Server, you can choose HTTP and HTTPS ports to be enabled as well. And I need to confirm that I have a Windows license, which I have. And I will hit on next, which is disks. So here at disks, you're gonna choose the OA disk size. You can leave it as default, which is 127 GB, or you can go to a different size. You have 128, 256, 512, 1 terabyte, and 2 terabyte as well. I'm gonna leave it as default for now since I won't be needing much storage space. And the OS disk type. You can choose your disk to be replicated in multiple regions. But since I'm not going to be storing any important data in it, I will leave it as standard SSD, which is locally redundant storage. And then I will choose it to be deleted with the VM. So when I delete the VM, the disk also gets deleted. And the key management, I will leave it as default. And then we can hit on networking. In the networking pane, as you can see, a virtual network and a subnet will be created, and a public IP address will be assigned to your virtual machine. You will be using that public IP address when you log into it using RDP. Next, we can once again select more inbound ports, but I will leave it with the default RDP port, which is 3389. And I can choose to delete the public IP and network interface card when the VM is deleted. I will select this so I won't be charged for the IP and the NIC when my VM is deleted. So next I will head on to management. And now you can see here that you can use Azure AD login as well. I will not use it since I have a user created already. And you can enable auto shutdown. So our time is 5:33 Jayawardhanapura. And you can optionally select this, but I will leave it off for now. But if you want to specify a time your VM to be shut down on, you can select a time over here. So I'm going to turn it off, and next I'm going to head on to monitoring tab. Here you can enable boot diagnostics. I will disable it for now since I won't be needing it. And you can set on alerts as well. I'll be head on to the advanced tab. You have nothing to configure over here, but note that you can import custom PowerShell scripts or such to your VM once it's deployed. And next I will head on to tags. You can put on tags to this VM, but since it's for educational purposes, I will leave it as it is. Head on to review and create. And on this tab, you will get to review the details and configurations you have selected, and you can verify it and hit on create once this page is unloading and the validation is passed. I will hit on create. And now the process of deploying your VM will be started. While the VM is deploying, you will get to see the deployment progress over here. So once the deployment is completed, you can select on Go to Resource, and then you will be on the overview page of your virtual machine. To connect with this virtual machine, you can head over to the public IP address, select on Copy to Clipboard, go ahead and open a remote desktop connection through RDP, paste it over here, hit on Connect, give the username and password you created, and just like that, you will be inside your virtual machine. Since this is the first time, it will take a while for Windows to be set up to your user account. And like this, you will be inside your Azure virtual machine. It will function just as a normal computer. And you can see that it has 8 GB RAM. The configuration we selected, and once you're done playing with the virtual machine, you can hit on close to close the RDP connection and go ahead and stop your virtual machine since it will cost you. Since Azure gives $150 of credit at the start of your subscription, you will get a month to use any of the services that Azure can provide. So this is the basics of deploying a virtual machine on Azure. We will be coming back to you with more content soon, and we will be telling you how to manage virtual machines and take backups of it as well in future videos. Thanks for watching EV's Classroom.